In this first video, we're going to take a look at some of the functions and tools we have available via the business layer for helping us write scripts. So you can see here we have a blank script, and we're going to access the business layer using finPOWER. And we're going to take a look at our account functions. So again, as the description said, these are just miscellaneous account utility functions. We have the ability in here to do things like approve disbursements, cancel disbursements, reverse disbursements, simple one-line function calls that enable us to perform actions against the fin account. We can also add logs. So rather than have to go away and create an entire fin account log object and fill out all of its all the relevant details, you can add it using a very simple one-line call here. So add log, pass in an account ID, a subject, some notes, and some dates, and that will create a log against the account. We can do the same with documents, document logs, email and SMS document logs. Should be noted that although these are very convenient and they do provide a simple one-line function call, if you need to do anything extra with the log, like processing any fees, adding any fees, or extended data, then you would need to use a fin account log object in the normal way. But these are great for when you have just simple logs that need to be added to an account. As far as the log objects, anyone that's done anything with conversions will be familiar with the status functions. The status open to closed, closed to open, quote to open, open to quote, etc. enable us to affect the status of an account. It should be noted when using the closed, open to closed, that whilst we can close and open an account via this simple one-line call in account functions, we would recommend that you use a fin account close object whenever you need to affect anything on the closing calculation. You need to make any payments, you need to add any extra fees, etc. You would need to do that via the fin account close object. So similar to the logs, these do provide a nice simple one-line function call to affect the account close. But it is limited to the fact that you can only supply an account ID, a close method, and some notes. So bear that in mind. As well as account functions, we also have things like client functions. So again, very similar to account functions, we have the ability to add some logs and perform some other functionality for a fin client. We also have document manager functions. So this is particularly useful for creating unique file names, also checking that document manager folders exist, and if they don't, we can create them. We can also do a bunch of save options in here for saving Word documents to document manager, PDF account, etc., etc. So there are a number of useful functions available in the document manager functions as well. And we're only going to go through one or two of these today, but there are a number of these throughout the business layer. For account app functions, for instance, we have things like banking functions and branch functions, and a lot of the objects have an associated library of functions available. So well worth spending a little bit of time to go through and just familiarising yourself with what is available, because they can save an awful lot of time and save you having to go off and reinvent the wheel when a lot of this stuff's already been done. So we have a look at PDF utilities. So anyone that's worked with the new IS Word documents will probably have come across the PDF utilities. These give us the ability to combine Word documents into single PDFs, or we can create many different PDFs and combine them into a single PDF. We can also create PDF files directly from HTML, from base64, encoded HTML. So there are all sorts of options there for working with PDF files, which again are very, very useful, particularly with the newer IS Word documents. Lastly, we'll take a look in the utilities. So finPOWER utilities is a more general miscellaneous library of functions. You can see here that we can do various things with date cycles, with mnemonics, and we can get the HTML from a summary table. We can get HTML from text. We can convert key value lists to HTML tables to summary tables, and do the same thing with parameter sets. So again, very, very useful. You have a parameter, an existing parameter set, you want to display that in an HTML format, so via a summary page or however, then you can do so using using finPOWER.utilities. As well as utilities, we also have our runtime library. Now, our runtime library contains a whole heap of additional utilities and tools that we can use throughout scripting, and it's something that we use internally. In fact, all of the functions and things that we've seen so far, and the ones you'll look at, have all been developed for use behind the scenes in finPOWER Connect. So the actual core code is built using these utilities. You know, we haven't just dreamed them up because we thought they might be useful for scripts. These are actually all being used either inside the business layer or via scripts that we use internally. So our runtime library has a whole stack of additional utility functions. So here you can see we have things like date utilities. Under date utilities, we can get things like the age as text, age in years. Now these might be things that you don't need to do very often at all, or maybe never. But should the occasion arise, you don't need to write yourself a function to go and convert those things. That's already been done for you in the date utilities, and you can access these things via a single function call. We'll go through and show you. We've actually created a little sample page set which will demonstrate some of the available utilities. Obviously, there are lots of them, so it's a reasonably small subset, but we do encourage you to go in and have a play around with particularly the runtime libraries and all of the things that are available there. Could well be something that saves you a bit of time in the future. So from date utilities, we can get things like Easter Sunday, get the number of days in a month, the end of the month, end of the next month, previous month. We can get the number of months difference between two dates. We can move days of the week around. Get a period in words. There's all sorts of nifty little functions in there that just make life a little bit easier should you ever need them. As well as date utilities, we also have file utilities. File utilities, nice and simple. Delete files, delete folders, create folders, copy files, move files. We can check if a file is already in use. That's a particularly useful one. The ability to merge folders. We can read and write text files. So again, really, really useful utilities. These may not be things that are particularly difficult to do, but these save you reinventing the wheel should you need them. We have a look now at some text utilities. These text utilities are great. We can base64 encode and decode using a simple one line function call. We can CSV append. We can list append. So list append, obviously CSV will be a comma separator list. List append will allow you to list append to a list with a specified separator. So that might be a pipe or whatever you like. List append a new line. Very simply appends a new line to the end of each line. And we've got things like proper case. So we'll go through and show some of these things via our little page set utility, which we will make available for download via the website. So we'll make that link available in this blog article. Okay, there are also a number of number utilities, converting amount into words, some conversion utilities there, as well as some rounding stuff, which again is really useful. Some of these things, they're not particularly difficult to do without the use of the business layer. However, they are here, they are available, and they're much simpler to use. Last one we'll take a look at in the runtime library, the validation. So it's a reasonably small little library of functions, but particularly helpful for validating email address and phone numbers. validating VIN numbers for vehicles, and then a whole bunch of other type-based validation as well. So I'm going to fire up on our little page set utility. So this is something that we've written internally as a way of testing some of those runtime functions that you've just seen. So if I go run a little utility up here, you can see here we've done things like useful functions found in finPOWER.runtime.date utilities, months difference. So for instance, we can we tab off of there, you can see the 6 months, 42 months, age, I'll show you there, 38 years, month, days. Move on, have a look at some file utilities. We can open and display files. And we also have number utilities, so things like amount in words, $1,250 only. So those sorts of things really handy. Again, you could write your own function, but this is a simple one-line call: finPOWER.runtime.numberutilities.amount in words, and you never need to worry again. It'll even do the dollars and cents on the end. Again, with things like rounding currency, rounding them up and down, to show those, it's pretty self-explanatory. But again, we're going to make this page set available to you, so feel free to go and have a play around in the page set, and also take a look at the code behind the scenes. To find the relevant function, you just take the name at the top here: finPOWER.runtime.numberutilities.amount in words.round currency down, etc. Text utilities, again, really useful. So if we want a base 64 encode, we'll just tab off, and that's base 64 encoded, that field. We can then decode that back into here using finPOWER.runtime text utilities encode and decode. We might have some CSV and list append as well, numbers only. I'll literally strip just the numbers out of a string of alpha and numeric characters, which again is a really useful function to use, particularly when you're parsing things like phone numbers or whatever. Just make sure there's no junk in them. Proper case, another useful one. This is some text. If we tab there, you can see that's proper case the whole lot. If we make that go, it'll convert it from uppercase to proper case, lowercase to proper case, etc. Split words at capitals, this is another good one. So again, very simple, not particularly difficult to achieve, but again, nice one-line function, save you having to go and repeat the wheel. There's also some summary page functions here as well, so we can go back and feel free to go back and have a look at the code available via the behind the scenes in the page set. So that pretty much wraps up the first session. These sessions will be around about 10 to 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes maybe in length. We aim to post a new video every week. There'll be an accompanying blog article, so please keep an eye on our blog. Our blog is available at www.intersoft.co.nz/blog, and we will endeavour to upload a new video and any accompanying scripts or files that we refer to or use throughout the training video. We'll also have available download links on the blog article. So the blog's really the place to go and for all that information. Well, hopefully that's you found some of that useful. We'll be back next week with a look at another area of the business layer.